What up, what up, what up? How you all doing? It's Mike Watson, the most enthusiastic person in comics, super Mad Brotha, publisher of Short Fuse, and the owner of Freestyle Komics. If you notice today, things look a bit different. We're doing some testing, as I've told you or said to you, trying to work up some new ways to present the videos that I do. I'm working on a couple different new shows. And I want to raise the bar. Shout out to Danny Cooper because he did this first and I'm jealous. Shout out to Sean Mack. I'm coming for you. Shout out to everybody else on this video game. All right. I'm out here. But no, just out here testing. So if you guys can tell me how it sounds, if you can tell me how it looks, if it's skipping, if the volume's good, how the background and everything looks. We're really trying to play around with a couple things. We need to take our audience to the next level. You know, we was in the basement last year. And we're still in the basement. But we're trying to upscale it some. I need to get them dang steps fixed. So yeah, D. Coop, editor-in-chief of Freestyle Komics, came over here today to test out my OBS system. And so it looks like it's not my internet and it's not my computer, but I need a better damn camera. So just trying to see how things are running and whatnot. So I will talk a bit. Do we got a question over here, a comment over there?
Mr. Calvin said he read Heroes International today and liked it.
Oh, did you? That is awesome. What did you like about Heroes International? So that's good. That's also good. I have been noticing people are starting to get their rewards. Short Fuse is packing that stuff off. As you know, we have 3 Kickstarters right now that we are sending everything out. We really got like hit with it. There was a lot of Kickstarters in line, and a lot of people wanted these Kickstarters. So I almost want to say we got overwhelmed a little bit, but we're still here and we're still operating. Rewards have started to go out, and we should have all that wrapped up in May. So everyone, we still deliver. I just want to let you know that. So I really didn't have a whole bunch planned today, but guess what? Did you see that Avengers trailer clip today? I did. It's amazing. All right, I'm so stoked. I know you're like, but Mike, it was just a conversation. They just had a little big back and forth. I don't care. All right, I'm so thirsty for this Avengers movie right now. I'll take anything. All right, but that conversation was dope. I thought that what they both said, what they said in there, the back and forth, the little ribbing that they gave each other, I thought that was dope, and I like the answers on both ends. War Machine was hilarious. We all about that superhero life in this room. It was awesome. So 20 years of FSK still happening. This is the evolution of it.
I just come up with a new catchphrase for Heroes International.
Oh shoot!
The worst there is at what they do.
Editor-in-chief Danny Cooper. Yeah. That works. That's great. Heroes International, the worst there is at what they do. This lemonade is great. We getting some comments on there? Looks like.
Yeah, so Mr. Lance said nice backdrop. I explained that. Testing out the green screen. Let's see here. Okay. A few people in here. Let's see. Stephanie Menard's in here. Mr. Dan.
What up, Steph? Dandridge is in the building?
Yeah, Jessica Cristelli.
Yo, Vic, you look real good in that hat. You look real good, like it was made for you. So, as we'll just talk a little bit of comics tonight. Danny is over here helping out, trying to see how I can get this stuff set up. But after we do this test stream, we're going to be hard at work at working on the books that we have coming out this year, working on their budgets, securing their budgets, figuring out what they will be, working on the promotional plan for them, some quick edits. We'll be looking at Hotshot number 10, which okay, here we go. I like the segue. So this Friday, let me make sure I get the name of the school correct. I don't want to mess that up as I check her out on my phone. I got to go speak at a school this week, and it was really, really cool. Where's my chats? Okay, not that. Not that. Give me 1 second. I didn't think I was going to talk about this. It didn't even occur to me or pop up in my head. Where the heck? There it is. Come on. It is... I don't starts with H. Oh, wow. We talked a whole bunch. Hiltonia Middle School. Hiltonia Middle School is where I got to go speak at this Friday. They brought me in to talk about comics, but mainly characters, and talking about characters and how we should make characters that actually have some weight, some credence in there, and not just overpowered, as the internet would dub it, Mary Sue's. So I went down there. Katie Sprout came with me, the intern for Freestyle Komics, and we went in there. We were in the library. We set up. The people in charge of it, the adults, they seemed like they were very excited to have us there. Apparently, they've been looking for somebody in comics to come and talk to their kids for a while. And Katie and I set up everything, and the kids started coming in, and they were immediately like taken back by all the artwork and the comics that were up. And so we got right into it and started talking about it. I was supposed to do, and I did get to do a little bit of it, but we did these character packs that were created by Vantage In-House, so You Create Comics, where you create your own character. It's very detailed, has a power scale, origin, costume design, name, height, weight, all that type of stuff. It's a perfect character design book. I highly recommend it. But that's what I was brought there to go over with, to tighten up the characters that they had. I started talking to them about characters and started talking to them about stories. And then I started telling them stories about the books, like some situations and things that were happening in the books. And this is the first time this has happened for me. But they were like, all right, can you tell another story? I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'll tell another one. Like, we got to telling so many different stories about the characters of FSK and what they have going on in their books. Like, it was really good because the kids, like, they were into it. They were paying attention. They were asking questions, and they were like, oh, making the sound effects and stuff and really getting into it. But I had to stop. I had to be cut off so we could actually get to the actual art portion, because that's what I was brought out there for as well. But it was really cool. They got it. Like, there wasn't a lot of convincing that had to be done with this group of kids, because that's the project that they're working on at the school. They're creating these characters. They have to be from their community, and the whole goal is to make the characters that look like them. So they were very much so invested in it and talking about it, and really, really enjoyed the story. I told them, I actually gave them a sneak peek at issue 10 of Hotshot. Actually, issue 10 and 11. I talked to them about it. I showed them a couple stories from there and what the setup was and where he was and what he was going through, because Hotshot's going to go through some real crap, and it's going to be, hopefully, I believe it will be a very relatable story. A lot of people will be able to understand it, know where he's coming from. I want to bring, all right, so basically what I told him was Hercules. Let me not talk around it. Let me just say it. If you've seen Hercules, the Disney flick, right? When Hercules lost his powers and he was told or whatnot. Now, it's been a while since I've seen it, but overall goal of he didn't go out there and risk his life without his powers. He had to be, he had that moment of truth. And he had to figure out a hero doesn't need powers to be a hero. A hero just goes out there and does what's right because it's right, whether they have the strength or the power to or not. So I really like that concept a lot. And this 3-part story that I've been working on for the new issue of Hotshot, it has been created through several different outlets, several different inspirations, other movies or shows that I've watched. I've been inspired at certain points, and it gives me different aspects of it. Plus, using my never mind, I'm not gonna grab them. My cards, my idea cards from You Create Comics. So I want to take that idea of things and really challenge why Hotshot wants to be a superhero. Because we throw you in the middle of the story and he's a hero, you get the idea, he's always wanted to do it because we said it. So now we're actually going to really dig in and start investigating that and looking at what was the thing that caused him to say he wanted to be a superhero. But not only that, let's look at some of the mistakes that people make. Are we forever judged by our mistakes? Are we forever held accountable for the mistakes that we make? Can we ever move past those mistakes? Hotshot, aka Mike, takes blame for something that he really had no control over. But to this day, he still believes he should have done something and he was too afraid to. So the doubt comes in. Am I only brave because I have these powers? Am I only brave because now I'm Hotshot? Would I risk it all for somebody if I didn't have these powers? Now, the answer right now with him in his head is like, yeah, of course I would. But he's answering that from a perspective of being powerful. And he thinks back to a time where he wasn't. And he didn't do anything. He walked away. So how does that weigh on someone that is a superhero now? And the way we bring that back is through failure. He's going to fail. Now, I know you're like, Mike, you always have him messing up. But no. I have him making mistakes. We've always talked about Hotshot not being a perfect hero. He makes mistakes and stuff like that. But in this new story arc, he's going to fail. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be glossed over. It is something that is going to be impactful on his life and the future of his career as a superhero. Now, that was the overall thing that I'm telling you guys, because I'm not telling you any spoilers about the actual book. Now, I gave them spoilers. Don't be mad. They ain't going to tell nobody. I trust them. But this is the internet. I say it on here. It's out there forever, and I can't get it back. Can't get it back under control. So, I'm very, very much so interested in that. Vigilance. Stephanie is writing a hell of a book. Between her writing, Danny and I coming in and adding the extra that we may need for the Hotshot verse and getting Stephanie comfortable with the character of Vigilance. I'm super, super proud of issue 4 of Vigilance and what is, because the edits are done on it. So we are going to layouts now, but I'm super, super proud what Stephanie wrote, what we all came together with the idea of it and where that book is going to be going. Again, it's about the character. And if you kind of notice the theme that we had going on at Freestyle Komics is that when our first issue comes out, we kind of just throw you in the shit. We kind of throw you right in the midst of it. We give you some action right out the gate. We kind of show you what these characters are about, where these characters are, what they're dealing with. And then after about 2 or 3 issues, we slow it down. And then we start investigating the character. And we had a lot to learn from the first issue of Hotshot, which is the benefit of everything else, of all the rest of the books. So they get the benefit of how much we learned from Hotshot. And while the progress is one of the best things to me, in my opinion, about the Hotshot series over 10 issues, how it's progressed and grew, you kind of see more of an immediate growth from the new books because of all our experience from Hotshot. And I'd say the only book where we went the opposite direction is Emerald Quest. We don't throw you into a bunch of action in Emerald Quest. We actually slow it down and introduce and bring up new characters in Emerald Quest. And now in the next issue, woo-wee, child. That next issue, the next 2 issues, they're going to rock. They are going to rock with the action. So you know, just switching up the game a little bit. Like my mother likes to always say, I look at these books kind of like my other children. And my mom, I always complain to my mom about how my sister has gotten off easy with the way she was raised and grew up, you know, because I was always the one getting whooped on and stuff. And I'm like, where's her whooping at? And my mother used to always say, you raise children differently. I said differently as whoop her with something else is what you're saying. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But with the books, I say that is you take different approaches. Once you've learned one way and you think you got that pretty good, then you switch it up and try something different. Then you get comfortable with that. All right, well, let's go back and let's do something different on this next book. And that's what we've been doing. The Zero event, which is being worked on, pencils are done on that. We're going into the ink stage. That book is fantastic right now. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on that. We're going to be doing, I'm not going to announce tonight what our next big move is for the rest of the year. I gotta leave some candy for Danny to actually have some stuff to actually be announcing. I'm always spur in the moment, and Danny's like, Mike, slow down. So I will let him, as editor-in-chief, handle that stuff, the release slate for the actual rest of the year for FSK. But again, just seeing if the sound is still good, if the picture's still good, please let us know. And I'm going to be working on a couple different shows. A show that I'm working on with D. Coop called The Weekly Geek. I'm working on another show with Katie May, and we have not thought of the name for it right now. That would be an audio podcast. And Dear Creative is going to be coming back here in a few weeks. It'll be like a whole, not a relaunch because I'm keeping all my original episodes. So I'll be putting that onto his own YouTube page and stuff like that. But it's all coming. So that's all I wanted to come on here, test this for a little bit. I keep looking over the screen. I'm actually happy with how things look. Danny is a perfectionist. Oh my God. Like, I'm not knocking him, but that dude is a perfectionist. Danny was like, no, it does not look right. We're going to give me a few more minutes. And he made it happen, man. It looks great. So shout out D. Coop for being executive producer over here for this episode of Dear Creative, this spur of the moment one. But I don't want to keep him out too late, and we got comics to work on now. So thanks for tuning in. Get your questions ready. Oh, children, they're a blessed and wonderful thing. So get your questions ready for Dear Creative. Dear Creative will be talking about my life and how I make comic books, and I am processing as a freelancer and things like that. Hopefully the advice that I give you can help you make better choices than I did and make your road to success easier than the one that I did. So, hey, catch you later. Thanks for tuning in. Stay epic. In game, baby. Can't wait, baby. This is my shield. I'm coming for you, Sean Mack. Get a fancy ass intro. You just out here with your videos.